Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the actual first episode of a new show that I am tentatively calling D&D Recap. I spoke to my patrons, who are amazing, lovely, wonderful people, and I decided that I was going to start doing something a little bit different with my Thursday vlogs. Instead of me just talking about random things that I wanted to talk about for the day, I am going to actually give you a recap of the amazingly awesome story that is unfolding in my D&D Encounters group. So, the first few ones are going to be me putting a lot of information into a small amount of time, because we've been playing since September. So, in order to catch you guys up, I'm going to be putting like months into, a 5-minute video. After I catch everybody up, you guys will I'll be able to get into a few more details and talk about cool stuff. So, the other thing about this video is that it is going to be changing a lot. I have a lot of different ideas about how I want to do this, and different types of videos I want to make, but they're all going to involve me telling you the story of what's happening in this group. And yeah, so this week it's going to be kind of the traditional vlog that you guys are familiar with. Next week it may be something completely different. I don't know. A lot of it depends on time. I was actually planning on doing this week, trying something kind of crazy, but I ran out of time and it's already a day late. So, D&D Recap, Episode 1, The Party Forms. I had a lovely group of adventurers start on the path to Greenest, the worst named town in existence. Like, who names a town Greenest? It's not like there's like, well, this is greener, but this one, that's Greenest. As they were traveling to Greenest, they realized that something bad was happening at Greenest because they could see smoke and something flying over shooting lightning bolts. They later found out that was a dragon, but they decided they wanted to be slick and cool and decided to, instead of going down the path, the road that was very easy to go down and could have gotten them there probably within an hour or so, because they were pretty far off when they started seeing lightning and crazy things happening, they decided to go through the forest and proceeded to fail miserably on their nature checks over and over and over again, to the point where they actually exited the forest further away than when they entered the forest. All in an attempt to get to the town. So they eventually had a ranger who rolled really, really well, was able to find their way through the forest, and got to kind of the backside of Greenest, where they realized it was being attacked by the cult of the dragon. And then they're like, well, let's go in and see if we can't protect things in there. So they run into the town and they go through and fight a bunch of kobolds and some cultists and things like that. You know, the meat of the campaign that's fun when you're playing it, not so much fun to go, well, he rolled a 7 and he rolled a 14 and then they died. So, after doing that for a while, they make it to the keep where everyone is kind of waiting, and they are able to talk with the captain of the guards, who, through no fault of his own, became a complete dipshit throughout the rest of the campaign. Like, the entire time they were in Greenest, he was just completely inept. They realized that there were still people out in the city. So Sir Valric, the bard extraordinaire, said, no, we need to go out and we need to protect these people. His friend Garrett, the paladin, decided, you know what? You're right. And the party continued to go out. With the chaotic neutral druid, Tonrock, kind of going behind as he spoke to various things that he felt was alive, like moss and other bizarre items. So they went through a sewer grate to get out, and as they were going out, they saw that there were some bad guys out there, but they hadn't seen them yet. So one of them, I believe it was actually Tonrock, decided, I know the best way to do this. I'm going to leap out and kill this guy as quickly as physically possible and make as much noise as physically possible, which attracted more bad shit. So they went and they were killing, and everyone was doing pretty well except for Sir Valric. Valric, the bard, had this amazing rapier, and he kept coming up and trying to kill things, but he couldn't hit a damn thing that he intended to hit. He kept rolling really, really low. And so, as flavor text, I started going, well, you missed that, but there is one less toad in the world. Because they were in a river and stuff like that. So I'm like, there's toads there. It eventually turned into a toad massacre. Like, there are no toads in Greenest anymore. He just destroyed them all. And adopted the moniker of Sir Valric Toadsbane. and we have called him that for the rest of the game. They decide to go to a temple where people were hiding to try and help some people get out of there and rescue them and get back to the castle and or the keep where everyone else is hiding. So they go out there and they realize that the cultists that have surrounded this are starting to set the building on fire, which is not good for the people inside. So again, Sir Valric Toadsbane, in his awesomeness, strips naked one of the cultists that they have killed already, puts his clothes on, and goes over and proceeds to bluff his way out of convincing the rest of the cultists, like, oh, you don't need to look. No, 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 no. Trust me, people running, that's totally not what's happening, all right? You just focus on me, and we're going to talk about how evil toads are. After doing that for a while, they're able to rescue all of them. They kill off a few more cultists, almost getting killed themselves because they went looking for trouble, and eventually made it back to the keep, only to find out that while they were in the keep, a massive blue dragon was attacking. So they went up to the battle ramparts and tried to kill the damn thing, but it hit hard. So all they were actually able to do was scare the damn thing away, which disheartened the rest of the cultists there. Like, their big dragon dude is just like, bye-bye, peace out, deuces, guys, I'm not doing this anymore. And he's gone. So, at the very end, the commander of the forces is a giant half-dragon. Big, crazy-looking guy. And so he comes up to the battlements and he goes, I want one of your champions to face me in honorable combat. So Garrett, the amazing, awesome paladin, goes, I'm a paladin. I can totally do this. So Garrett goes out there, proceeds to get his ass handed to him rather readily. But due to the fact that honorable combat had been satisfied, the rest of the cultists left with their half-dragon commander. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight. So, if you guys want to find out more about what happens to Sir Valric Toadsbane and Garrick the Paladin and his buddy Bobby Boucher, the Barbarian, yes, his name is Bobby Boucher and he hates Gatorade, or Tonrock, the Crazy Druid, let me know in the comments below. Also, these are characters played by real-life people every Wednesday. If you guys have messages or comments you would like me to tell them, leave them in the comments below. I will let them know, and I will bring my responses back to you during the next D&D recap. All right? Bye-bye.